because I come from two cultures, I think I should have the privilege of talking first for my Indigenous culture, the people of the Indigenous peoples, the tribal peoples around the world. And for them, it is self-determination. And self-determination doesn't mean taking over land that others have come in and colonised. It means that you determine yourself and your peoples where they are to go, because many people, Indigenous peoples, cannot secede to anywhere else but the country they're in. And in this day and age, it is very much that Indigenous peoples have not got that right to self-determination. And the other part of me, which I have some very deep concerns, that the World Future Council needs to look at, not tomorrow or next year, is immediately the use of the nuclear issue. And the bombs that are being dropped in Iraq right now are affecting the children. The Americans started in 91, and those children have been born in that last 10, 15 years have already died of cancer. And we need to, as an organisation, to say to America and Britain, you cannot use these type of weapons which just leaves a residue of cancer in human lives. It also destroys their water. It destroys any of the sand on the gardens that they make for many, many years to come. So I believe that with the heart of World Forum Council, that we should be able to look at that immediately. Because at the moment, we aren't being fair. We want future generations. Well, in the Middle East, those children are not being born able to see out the first 5 years of their lives. And that's been going on for some time. Hopefully that the World Future Council can bring the strength to challenge governments and multinational corporations on what they are actually doing to humanity and to the environment. It's not always able to negotiate because of the political world that governments worldwide work in, and the whole sphere of multinational trading doesn't allow governments always to make that decision. So I think the World Futures Council has to get evidence and present it to the government and say, well, this is the evidence. You are supporting a company which is destroying either Mother Earth or destroying humanity in general, or leaving behind those factions that destroy the waterways and makes life unbearable for people to even survive. That's very hard, because I think if we plan too much of what my goal would be as a World Future Council member, I think it could change from the time I leave here and the time I arrive home, because when I see picking up issues as they actually happen, and it doesn't always happen the way you plan it, and the world's moving very fast. So I'd like to work at our local areas where we can take our young people, the younger generation, along to actually participate in being the movers and shakers for their parents who are living such a social life that the young people say, hey, what you're doing is not compatible for what there is for us. Because at the moment we have a very high suicide rate, one of the highest in the world. And I've had young people say to me, there's nothing out there for us. And how we change that is how I feel that we need to, as elders, need to work with young people and say, you can change it. The power is in your hands. Change your lifestyle. Change your friend's lifestyle. And then others will follow you. Because there is a world out there which is beautiful. And there's also society who will be enhanced by you remaining alive, having children for the next generations. And that's why I see my work is in my local community as well as the international community, but that's where I really work.